research assistant at the University of Cape Town, and I'm also a third-year PhD student at the University of Pretoria. I will give you a brief overview and what to expect from this presentation from PUBGEM. PUBGEM Africa is a dedicated initiative under the DSI Africa Consortium. Our core focus is developing and implementing innovative models for sustainable public and patient engagement in health-related science research across Africa. We believe that public engagement is not just a component of research. It is the cornerstone of impactful, community-centered science. Through our work, we aim to empower individuals and communities to actively contribute to research processes. This means helping people make informed decisions, advocate for their health rights, and shape research outcomes that reflect their lived realities. At the heart of our strategy lies the principle of sustainable partnerships. These partnerships, whether with local leaders, academic institutions, or international networks, are not just about collaboration, but about co-ownership. They allow us to embed community voices in the science, making our work more ethical, cultural, relevant, and impactful. Through these partnerships, we are building bridges between researchers and the public, ensuring that innovation is guided by local needs and that health research drives meaningful change at the grassroots level. Participating in a virtual networking exchange is an incredible opportunity for PUBGEM. It allows us to present our vision and impact, and more importantly, to connect with a global community of practitioners who share our values. We look forward to networking with peers, discovering new ideas, and forming collaborations that will enrich our work and extend our reach. We are especially eager to discuss how data science can be shaped by and for the communities it seeks to serve, and how citizen engagement can be a powerful tool in both research and health equity. In our presentation, I will share the results of a recent scoping review that examines how citizen engagement is being applied to health research across Africa. We will explore how these findings intersect with data science, highlighting practical examples of community-driven, data-informed initiatives. Participants can expect to learn about innovative, real-world applications of citizen science that are already shaping sustainable solutions to local health challenges. Our aim is to show that with the right partnerships, data science can be inclusive, empowering, and transformative for African communities. I'm honored to present insights from our recent scoping review titled Citizen Science as Public Engagement for Data Science and Health Research in Africa. This review forms part of a larger initiative spearheaded by PUBGEM Africa, the Public Understanding and Big Data and Genomic Medicine in Africa project. We are proud to be a member of the DSI Africa Consortium, a collaborative network funded by the NIH to promote responsible and impactful data science innovations across the continent. Our work seeks to explore how citizen science can serve as a powerful tool for enhancing public engagement, especially within the context of health research and data science. By mapping the existing literature and practices, we aim to better understand the potential and challenges of involving African citizens more meaningfully in scientific research processes. Citizen engagement ensures that healthcare innovations aligns with societal needs and ethical consideration. Therefore, there are benefits of citizen engagement, which includes strengthening public trust and also ensuring that there is research relevant and impact. Therefore, our objective, or rather the objective of the scoping review, was to identify models of citizen science in health research and also to assess the opportunities and challenges for Africa's healthcare landscape. Our scoping review followed the Axay and O'Malley framework. Our focus was on peer-reviewed studies that aligned with our inclusion criteria, which centered on citizen engagement in health research within Africa. Therefore, our findings, we identify several models of citizen science in health research, and one of them being a community-based participatory research, which we saw how the Ghana Genome Project, actively involved its community to ensure cultural relevance and also ethical integrity. And also another model was of photo voice, which is a visual storytelling method that captures personal community experiences. It is highly notable that this is applied mostly at the US, but it is highly adaptable for African communities, especially those affected by the sickle cell disease.
You're good.
Therefore, citizen science role in sickle cell disease research enhances the research by co-creating knowledge with patients and researchers to collaborate on research priorities and also to make or promote data-driven decision-making by enabling or designing dashboards and analytics to help track treatment responses. Also, another opportunity was by bridging gaps in ensuring that the inclusion of underrepresented populations are considered in order to improve access to biomarkers and clinical trials. We saw how during COVID-19 pandemic, real-time dashboards help governments to monitor infection rates and also allocate resources accordingly. Also, community-led campaigns increased vaccine uptake and fought misinformation, which people were reluctant in taking the vaccine. So this effort highlights the impact of citizen involvement in public health crisis. Then opportunities which we saw for the sickle cell disease healthcare in Africa are that there is a very strong, strengthened relationship between community and researcher relations, and also an awareness on sickle cell genetics and treatment is enhanced. The utilization of digital tools like telemedicine was seen to be working effectively, and also the launch of citizen-led health drives and support groups for affected families. Also, the opportunities now in general for African public health system is to strengthen community engagement by allowing local leaders to play a crucial role in educating communities, which then the strategy can be applied for future outbreaks and health, or to enhance on health programs. Another opportunity is a digital tool whereby we see how mobile health apps for symptom tracking and patient self-reporting are seen as efficient and effective methods. Another opportunity is a localized community-driven health interventions where grassroots level education campaigns on disease prevention are being led. Challenges now in sickle cell health care. There are notable limited healthcare access whereby we see poor infrastructure, lack of trained professionals who are able or understand what sickle cell disease is, and also limited screening facilities or limited to no screening facilities. The research and funding gaps. We know how the research on sickle cell disease has been underfunded and overlooked despite its high prevalence in many African countries. Another challenge is the digital divide. We are currently rapidly moving or transitioning to the technological world, but then now the African continent seems to be left behind. Therefore, we see how limited access to telemedicine and genetic cancer services can hinder the enhancement and improvement of sickle cell healthcare in Africa. Challenges in Africa's COVID-19 response. This includes healthcare access barriers, misinformation and public trust, and also, as stated in sickle cell, the digital divide. Therefore, citizen science is a transformative force in Africa health research. It empowers communities, enhances equity, and promotes data-informed decision-making. Our findings support scaling citizen science models to create impactful, sustainable solutions across the continent, and therefore it aligns well with the networking exchange theme on sustainable or fostering sustainable partnership. Thank you very much for listening, and I will be awaiting questions during the live networking session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was fascinating. I think I will be using that one in my class. Key takeaways, and we'd like to hear from the group maybe one or two questions before we go ahead. Fighting public misinformation involving local communities. There was an important point of identifying the right collaborators. To me, it seems like if we could take the outcomes of this review and establish that as requirements to collaborate, it would prevent a lot of the conflict that we all experience in these collaborations. Are there any other questions that you could direct directly to the speaker? Anybody? Please raise your hand. We'll do one or two, and then we'll go to the next one. Can we hear from the speaker?
Hi, everyone. As I have introduced myself, I'm Otsepeng Mazibuko, and I work under the PUBGEM Africa project. And thank you very much for your reflection, Samson. The scoping review indeed aims to come up or map up the models already in public engagement for the African continent. So we are still working, or it's still developing, and we are looking forward to sharing our insights once we are done with the paper. Thank you.
Can you share your insights in the form of like lectures or something like this, or would you be willing to work with people in other universities to create course content out of your work?
We are open for collaboration, so yes, we can.
As a form of dissemination, but
yes.
I think anybody who's done work in the field, moving around and so forth, understands that these issues are extremely big. At least one more comment from someone else before we move to the next topic. You know, I'm seeing many people in this room. One question. I'm not going to let this go, people. Come on. Yes, Irini. Is it Irini or Irini?
Good afternoon. It's Irene.
Irene, okay. I said it the Greek way. Go ahead, Irene.
All right. Thank you so much for this presentation, Masibuko. My question, actually, firstly, I would like to compliment on the work that your organization is doing, PUBGEM, and also in the process of developing a community engagement arm for genomic health studies in the Western Cape. We have a study that is trying to establish a platform to create and develop a virtual genotyped population cohort and whose health data is being linked to their genomic data. So I'm the genetic counselor who is engaging the public and consenting the public clients to be in this genotyped cohort. So my question is, in order for this obviously to go well and for it to be community driven and all the citizen engagement that you have been speaking about, I would like to ask if you support or you collaborate with people like us who want to establish a community engagement platform for health research studies.
Thank you for your question, Irene. Currently, we are collaborating with Jive Media, and they are assisting with facilitating a workshop on public engagement using the authors or the scientific research on public engagement that has been done already. So I think maybe if we can share contacts and communicate further, we'll be able to collaborate on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would really love to do that.
Thank you very much.
That was another fabulous question. You know, we should be thinking about researchers finding public engagement experts early on at the same time they're looking for their statisticians and other people so that we can get this dimension of our work ingrained in study designs early on. Okay, that was fabulous. Actually, I was very happy with that. Let's go on to the next speaker. We have the University of Energy and Natural Resources. And I think this is the last one. It says DL melanoma. It's a PowerPoint presentation.
Hello. Yes, this is Stephen from the.
Yes. Sorry, Stephen, do you have the PowerPoint or should I project it for you?
Yes, I have a PowerPoint here to present.
No, I'm saying, do you want me to present it for you or you are going to do it yourself?
Yes, I'll do it from here.
Okay, cool.
Stephen, are you able to share your screen? Yes, okay. And I just want to do a quick interjection before we move forward. At one point, we discussed having what do you call it, the audio transcribed to French for our French speakers. I think there is a way to do that. So kindly know that if you're a French speaker, I think there is a way to get it in French. But let's go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. And my name is Stephen from the University of Energy Natural Resources, currently doing my PhD in China. So in the university, we are under the Department of Information Technology and Decision Sciences. So we are more, our lab, which is the Amabune lab, is more into AI applications for health research. So this study basically looks at the melanoma skin disease, where we use deep learning algorithms for classification between skin data. So to begin with, we all know skin disease. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, go ahead. You're on the introduction slide.
Okay. Yes. So the skin is the biggest organ in the human body, as we know, based on the outer layer. And the skin that protects the human body from elements such as the microorganisms which enters our body. And due to this, it aids in the temperature regulation and allows for sensation of the cold. So we all know that skin disease is a major challenge when it comes to cancer-related diseases. And according to the World Health Organization, the prevalence of the melanoma and non-melanoma skin diseases has increased recently. That's over the decade. And every year, 2 and 3 million non-melanoma skin cancers and 132,000 melanoma skin cancers are diagnosed worldwide. So this study utilizes advanced deep learning models where we use the convolutional neural network, capsule network, and GABA capsules to categorize these melanoma data. So the data employs this novel strategy to detecting the class imbalances, whereby developing a cutting-edge method for achieving higher loss values in terms of entropy loss. So the study highlights the most current use of deep learning models in the analysis of classification of melanoma skin disease. So the methodology employed here, we utilize data set, a publicly available data set from the International Skin Imaging Collaboration Platform. So this data was accessed and it contains 18,000 images from over 2,000 patients with a total of 7,369 numbers of lesions. And this data is in binary. When you say binary data, then we're talking about the classification as benign or malignant. So the figure on our right-hand side determines the framework which was used to develop this deep learning models. So we fed the skin data into our model where we perform some pre-processing algorithms that is looking at the augmentation, converting RGB data, which is the skin disease, into grayscale, removing noise, and performing some cleaning and also feature engineering. After this, we process this data using some hyperparameters where we divided them into training and testing before we fed it into the deep learning model. So the neural networks employed here will now determine which of these is melanoma disease or is non-melanoma, that is either benign or malignant. So after this, we try to evaluate the performances of all these three different models and see which performs better based on the performance evaluation metrics. And the data interpretation here, we all know that the class attribution map helps us to identify elements of images that influence the judgment of classification. So we employ the class attribution map on the benign and the malignant data, where we can explain that the classification predictions of these learning models ensure that each model predicts using the relevant picture parts in each class. So if you feed the model with an image, it will definitely pick up the part which is affected on the skin to determine whether it is malignant or benign. So the performance of these deep learning models significantly gives us some substantial values. And we saw that the CNN model gave us over 90% accuracy, and the capsule network also gave us 87%, and the Gabor capsule 86%. Now, with regards to evaluating these models, we saw that when it comes to the loss value or the loss function, even though the CNN model performs better in terms of accuracy, however, the Gabor capsule network, due to the Gabor layers, its training was much better, even though it had 86%. But in terms of accuracy prediction, though all the models achieved significant values, the CNN had the best accuracy. However, in terms of the loss value, that is the prediction rate, seeing how the trend passes, we saw that the Gabor capsule network achieved a lower loss function. Now, it should be noted that the skin cancer data set, which is binary, that's the benign malignant, has been highlighted in this table where the performance of these three deep learning models are employed. Now, the figures here shows the prediction rate. So you can see the green line represents the training loss for the Gabor capsule network, which is the GCN, showing how its loss function is more substantial as compared to the other models. However, in terms of accuracy prediction, the CNN had a better prediction rate as compared to the CAPSNet and then the Gabor capsule. Now, to satisfy our outcome with state of the art, that is knowing how they perform, we compared our result with state of the art, where researchers have used the same data that we used to also train their model. And a comparative analysis of these data, according to other researchers, showed that our models perform better in terms of accuracy as compared to these researchers. These researchers, ideally, most of them are using a single deep learning model, whilst we employ 3 different models to do a comparative analysis and see which one performs better. Now, the conclusion we can draw from here is that melanoma incidences has steadily increased over the previous few decades. And we are also, it is surprising and determined by these factors such as age, gender, race, and location. And because of that, deep learning models have been used in this research to describe the development of a computationally demanding strategy based on the melanoma skin cancer. Now, we look forward to, because today, due to the advancement of technology, the next step of our research, which we have been doing, because we train models, we try to develop software applications so that at least we can give a non-invasive approaches to determining these researches. So this research, as we envisage, is not going to lie down in only the academia, that is for publication purposes. We go further to develop software applications which can be used by health workers as well as other medical practitioners to be used. Because recently we've done a project where we develop a software for anemia detection using the conjunctiva. So this study, we envisage to employ it into a software for both Android and iOS, because we know a lot of people use phones. And before you even seek medical care, you can use our app to check whether the lesion on your skin is either benign or malignant and seek further clarification from health workers. So we welcome collaborations on AI-driven healthcare solutions, particularly in deep learning for medical imaging. And we're seeking partners with expertise in mobile health and cross-platform application development, looking at clinical validation to co-develop a non-invasive melanoma detection tool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very, very much for that talk. Another fascinating talk. May I open with the few questions and then we'll leave it to the group?
Very well.
Stephen, the name of your talk is Deep Neural Networks for Skin Cancer Classification, Analysis of Melanoma. But you've not told us, is this a diagnosis or is this screening? And the reason I ask is you have different performance criteria depending on the two of them.
Yes, thank you. This is more of classification analysis based on the image which will be fed to these models. So we are because we are not medical experts, but AI experts in improving healthcare, we try to develop these models for classification purposes. That is to show whether something is positive or negative before you can even seek health experts' advice.
Okay, excellent. May we start? Is it Carol?
Yes, hello.
Yes, and then Joel. Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you for your presentation. So some few questions. Okay. The first question is related to your main contribution, because I noticed that there were already some state-of-the-art like CNN model, and you provide other CNN model, and the architecture was not presented like ResNet, VGG, and other. So first, I would like to know which was your main contribution on this presentation, and also you presented different models. I also wanted to know if all these models were trained using the same hyperparameter.
So the second question was, are you using the same hyperparameters on the three models? What was the first question?
Yeah, and the first question is about like the contribution, because I saw some performance difference. So which contribution leads to this classification improvement?
You mean Hutch features?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay. Yes, Hutch features are leading to improvements in classification. And I'm forgetting the second question already, but go ahead, Stephen.
Thank you. Well, with regards to contribution, as in the presentation, we presented a comparison with state of the art. Now, the difference between state of the art and our models, that is the architecture, is that, in medical imaging, most of the times we have more positive data, that is malignant data, than the benign data. Now, because people have been using CNN to develop some of these applications, we go further to check class imbalance, that is using the one class classification models to really show or improve upon how best we can make these classes balanced before training the models. And with regards to using additional models, these additional models are advanced models for imaging purposes. So we try to employ these to see the comparison of these three models, see which one gives us the best or which one can be used for ensemble modeling before we even use it to develop the software. Now, this architecture is trained, that is developed in a way where we used a new approach as compared to the state of the art, because the state of the art is an already pre-trained CNN but ours, we try to develop it or adding some other features to it before we use them in training it. But if you see, using the same architecture with a little twist, we can see that our model performed better with the state of the art. Now, with regards to the hyper parameters, the feature engineering, as you mentioned, as already mentioned in the architectural design, we use the same criteria. That is, if we are using a feature engineering for CNN, the same criteria is used for the other models to better see how they will react based on the same level of operations.
Thank you very much. That was a little very clear. Joel.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Yeah, my name is Sabichi Joel. I'm a facilitator here, but interestingly is that I'm doing a PhD at UCT, and for my first objective, I'm trying to do classification of skin cancer using deep learning. As of now, I see that the results you shared, your emphasis on analysis of your models is around it's around accuracy, but I would recommend that you look around F1 score because accuracy is inherently affected by the majority class. So if you had, say, 100 samples in total, but 90 were benign and 10 were malignant, because it's correctly classifying the benign ones, then you get a high score, but in reality, it's not correctly classifying the the malignant tumors, which is lesions, which is a bit of a problem. So you might want to think about presentation of your results based on accuracy, and you consider the F1 score so that we know how is the model performing class for class. Yeah. And then for the parameters, I would have liked to see in terms of whether it's a learning rate or it is a random restart, or which optimizer are you using, and weight decay value for me to be able to know what you're doing in terms of comparability. Yeah. And then for the third would be a takeaway in terms of improving your classification. Present architectures right now are so much around utilizing attention mechanisms. Yeah, attention mechanisms like transformers. So you might want to compare how your model is performing based on attention-based technologies as opposed to like the ResNet. The ResNet is like a 2015, 2016 model. Right now, we are looking at the transformers and maybe the combination of convolutions and transformers, which has both global and local attention mechanisms. And then maybe I would want to find out how you augmented your data for the last response, how you augmented your data, because I've had a lot of argument around flipping and rotating images to create many samples. When you do that, I feel we are thinking around it destroying the phenotypic features of the skin lesions. So maybe I would love for you to share on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those questions, Joel. I think if you can just answer one or two of them, because we may run out of time for the last speaker, and then we can come back to these questions if we have time left over. Is that okay?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joel. And with regards to the evaluation metrics, if you clearly see our presentation, we use the F1 score as you said, because that is what gave us the recall and the precision as presented. But because of the time frame, that is why we didn't present the confusion metrics to show you how these predictions were done. However, we take your suggestion in good faith, and in relation to the performance with attention models, that is the transformers, yes, we envisage to develop this into a software. So we're going to look at these transformers, which we already have a research in place using these transformers to see how we can use them comparatively vis-a-vis our models. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Sorry, you guys. Let's go to the last talk, and then if we have time left over, we can open the floor up to questions on any of the talks. So may we go to the last talk, Joel? It's we can go with the MP4 Univ-Thies. Did I say that correct?
Let me see.
Yes, this is just
Excellent. Okay, looks like we're on our way.
I'm going to start to play.
Yes, please. Please play.
hello everyone. Today I'll explain how AI innovation can transform liver health in Senegal and across Africa. Liver disease is a silent crisis that causes over 200,000 deaths yearly in Africa. Late detection worsens outcomes, especially with limited imaging. There are main causes related to alcohol, related to drug, related to budget with fatty liver disease, or related to hepatitis B and C infections. So we need for earlier and smarter interventions. At Chase University, we have an expertise in AI and health. We have some major projects funded by the Gates Foundations. We have developed some AI models for tumor volumetry and fibrosis detections and made some publications in the domain. So we have two major projects. The first one is AI for liver surgery planning. My colleague, Professor Balajop, who is a surgeon, came to me and told me that he can't estimate the ratio tumor volume, liver volume before doing liver resection. And he gives me the contact of his radiologist. The radiologist told me that he has no time for this ratio estimation due to a high volume of job. So my students, Metu Sange, in our data science masters, did the job with a unit model based on DIRCAP database, which is a public medical database developed by IRCAD in France and designed for the study of the liver and liver tumors in 3D imaging. But the problem was we don't have any data from Senegal, any annotated data in order to validate this model. And that's why we intend in this project to build deep learning models or LLMs that can help automated tumor and liver segmentation and help in optimizing and planning for surgery. The next model, the next project is about early detection of liver fibrosis using AI and ultrasound data. You should know that when liver fibrosis is early detected, it can be treated safely and efficiently. We have two ways of detection: fibroscans or fibrotest. Fibroscan is based on ultrasound, and it measures the liver stiffness. It is used for advanced fibrosis detection or cirrhosis detection. It is used for monitoring progression and treatment response, but it is expensive in our countries and it is not accessible. Just for your information, you should know that there is one fibroscan apparel in chest region, and this apparel is not in our hospitals, but it is in a project granted by German corporation. There is another way, which is fibrotest, which is blood test evaluating biochemical markers. It is best for screening and diagnosis of fibrosis. We use it when image is not available, and it's blood sample that can give results in 1 or 2 days. It's expensive in LMX. It's not always accessible. And if you talk about biopsy is invasive method. Same way, it's not accessible. So our second project targets early fibrosis detection using ultrasounds and AI. It will be low cost and accessible and scalable. Okay, so these are the two projects we want to build. And for these, collaboration is the key, because we need robust data access, technology transfer for sustainability, and policy support to scale AI solution. And the principal point is that liver disease is a worldwide problem. So what do we propose? We propose to build a national or international liver health database that can help develop validated AI diagnostic models that can be deployed in mobile apps for hospitals use or use in rural zones, and launch training programs for doctors and engineers. This can be a model for Senegal, but a model too for Africa that supports UN's Sustainable Development Goals and community-centered innovation. We have a multidisciplinary and experienced team trusted by international funders, combining research excellence and field experience. So please join us in building the first AI-driven liver health system in Africa, saving lives and inspiring innovation. You'll find here my contact, Dr. Mamadou Bousso, my email, and my WhatsApp number. Thank you for your attention. I'm available to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
We have time for maybe one question. We just have about a minute. If somebody can ask a quick question. Emma.
Samson, I just wanted to remind him to join the
Ooh, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, I was saying it's out, and I'm feeling that in the main room.
I cannot hear that. I'm so sorry.
I think she's talking about us joining the main.
Okay, yeah, it's time to go. All right, let's all leave the room and we'll go to the main group. Thank you all. Welcome everybody. This is breakout room number 2. Let's give it a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, 1 minute or two. Welcome everybody. Welcome. We'll get started in about 20 or 30 seconds. Okay, why don't we go ahead and get started? I have 2 presentations, on file, and I think we may actually have one given live. May we start with the last one? It's the data can, the M4, Joel.
The video, right?
Yes, please. Well, it's the M4 audio, which is technically an audio file, but
Okay.
audio. Sorry. So yes, the MP4.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good day, everyone. I am Makintayo Oluwafemi John from Datican, Nigeria. I'm here to present to you about Datican. So what is Datican? Datican is an acronym for Data Science and Medical Image Analysis Training for Improved Healthcare Delivery in Nigeria. So why Datican? We have realized that there is shortage of manpower when it comes to medical data science in Nigeria. And also we realize the need for improved healthcare delivery in Nigeria. So what is the aim of Datican? Datican aims to produce many data scientists, as many as possible, who are well equipped to conduct medical research, which is meant to achieve improving healthcare delivery in Nigeria. So we have 4 partnering institutions here. The first one is Lagos State University, University of Ibadan, Redeemers University, and also the University of Chicago in the United States of America. So our training approach are different types. The first one is the hybrid lectures, which we have online and offline lectures. Let's say online and physical lectures. So the next one is hands-on training, where students comes together and we have workshops and also hackathons. The next one is project supervision, where each student is assigned a supervisor, and we have mentorship. Each student is also assigned a mentor. So who are our trainees? We have the MSc students, the PhD students, we have the postdocs, or we can call them early career researchers. We also have secondary school pupils, and we also have undergraduates. So what's our training structure like? Our scholars, they talk to student tutors, they talk to trainers, they talk to supervisors, and they talk to mentors. We believe that when they have these people around them, it will allow them to learn better and faster. So now the trainers, how do they get training? Our trainers get training from the trainers in the United States of America, that is University of Chicago trainers. They train our trainers and also train our students. So because of this, there was a program that was organized in 2024. We call it Training the Trainers Program. That is, the trainers in Nigeria were taught about how to process medical images in 2024. So in 2025, there is bioethics training, in which the University of Chicago trainers are going to train the trainers in Nigeria, and the trainers in Nigeria are going to train the students in Nigeria. So what are the events that we have had so far? We have started training of the students. So our first batch of students consists of what? The MSc, the PhD, and the faculty, and the lecture started in 2023. So also the second batch Their lecture started in 2024. Now, currently, we have had 4 hackathons, and which was held in 4 states in Nigeria: Lagos State, Osun State, Oyo State, and also Lagos State. So that's approximately 3 states. So also we have secondary school students training. So we have conducted 2, one in March 2024 and another in March 2025. So also we have conducted competition for undergraduate students on artificial intelligence in medicine and also data science in medicine. So that was conducted in June 2024, and currently we are in the process of the 2025 undergraduate student competition. So our hackathon 1 was held in Lagos. So we have trainers from the United States of America and University of Chicago, and in person of Alex Person and Birali. They came to Nigeria and they taught students on the how to process medical images. As you can see that we have the students who are doing their hands-on, and we have the group pictures there. So hackathon 2 was held at the Redeemers University, Osun State. You can see the picture there, and you can see Isham Gaffa, who is actually working on precision medicine. So the 3rd hackathon was held at the University of Ibadan, Oyo State. So you can see the picture also here. So the 4th hackathon, we just completed it in April this year, and you can see the hands-on as it's going on, and also the group picture. So this is a picture of the coding training in Lagos State. You can see the Datican PI that is trying to wet the ground for the instructors before the instructors come up, and you can see the group pictures there. So also the coding training for secondary school students in Ekiti State, Nigeria. So this was also held in March 2025. So our challenges are: there are no data repository in Nigeria. There is no single data repository in Nigeria. Also, the data sets that are available in Nigeria are unstructured, not curated, and also not annotated. So this is another challenge. And the last one is that access to computational resources, that is GPU that can process images, are not available. So the solution to this was that we got supplementary grants to hire radiologists who could annotate the data sets. So they could do the classification of the images and tell us, okay, which one is in a cancer case, which one is malignant, which one is benign, and which one is normal. So which one has classification, and what is this tumor doing there? So the radiologists were able to do that for us. So we also got a supplementary grant to buy the high performance computing server, that is the HPC. So that's the solution we provided. So now our success stories are: in 2024, we graduated 12 MSc students. Number 2, we have had 4 hackathons. We've also had 2 secondary school trainings. We have had 4 webinars, and we have successfully collected about 6,000 medical images, out of which we have successfully anonymized 4,615 of them. So we need collaboration in this form. The first one is joint student supervision. So anybody that wants to collaborate with Datican, as in you can collaborate with us in joint student supervision. We also need multidisciplinary approach. So if you are a medic and you feel that, okay, we will need to do a research with you, then you are welcome on board. Also, article publications. If you are ready, you want to publish with us, so we are ready to collaborate with anybody coming in this regards. So in summary, Datican project is an eye-opener to the skill gap in data science and the situation of health data in Nigeria. Datican has great potential to improve health research in Nigeria through capacity building. Future efforts will focus on training more Nigerians, curating more health data sets. We are going to build repository for health data and also develop protocols for image acquisition, data sharing, and processing of health data in Nigeria. So thank you very much. So you can see the contact of our PI, aribisala@uchicago.edu, and also the program manager, manager.datican@gmail.com. So this is our website, www.datican.org. So thank you very much.
That was an excellent presentation. We went over the full scope of activity and constraints in the country. Are there any general questions coming from the audience? Let's get at least two. Yes, Stephen.
Thank you very much, and it's such a nice presentation. I want to ask, in their presentation, they are more focused in Nigeria, which is acceptable because they are in Nigeria. I want to know if they are willing to also collaborate with other West African universities, yes, or only in Nigeria.
That's a
Okay,
good
so
question. Especially on the issue of GPUs.
Yes.
okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate your question. Concerning the collaboration, like the opportunities that I listed in the slides, that for example, there's article publication, there are also joint student supervision. So if you are interested in the collaboration, I don't really know the aspect, but if you are interested in the student supervision, we can share with you the project topics of our 64 students. So you will just select anyone that you are comfortable with. So maybe you are talking about the GPU. So I really want to clarify that. So could you please speak to that so that I will talk about that at Stephen?
Yes, I mean in terms of supervision as well as the GPU. Yeah.
Okay, so concerning the GPU, we having a scaling issue because the capacity of the GPU we have cannot contain much users per unit time. So we are thinking of scaling that up, and that is part of the reasons why we are here, so that if we can get sponsors that can help increase the size of our GPU so that it can help us in our image processing. But nevertheless, we can still collaborate on that. Already, in terms of that, we are working on the GPU, and we also have access to University of Chicago's GPU. So we are using that to process our images for now. Thank you.
Excellent discussion. Do we have one more question? Anyone else? I'm seeing, yes, Tess.
Yes, thank you for your presentation, Kyle. My question is regarding the data. Is it stored in the cloud, or is it on site or on premise in Nigeria? And then what are your, again, compliance regarding the anonymization and maybe the storage? And also you mentioned GPUs. Are you also using GPUs in the cloud, or you are using GPUs on site? Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Concerning the data sets, they are not in the cloud now because we are still working on building a repository. So by the time we are through with our repository, then we'll be able to upload the data sets to the cloud. So for now, it is just locally available to our students, our MSc, PhD, and early career researchers. So thank you very much.
Yes, the cloud resources are very expensive to scale. So this is a problem I think many people are facing. I've seen it in Ethiopia. I wonder if other people have seen it in other places. Let's keep going. If we have time left over, we can. Is there two hands raised? No. If we have time left over, we can come back and we'll go to the next presenter. So
Okay,
that's
Ayodeji Alaron, you can go for it.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think there's
Samson, is that okay to answer? Do you
Yeah,
want
let's go. It's okay. We're family here. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah. So, my name is RDJ, based out here in the UK. In terms of the cost, right, of data processing in Africa. Part of what we've leveraged in our company is public-private partnerships. Is your organization open to collaboration with the private sector, especially for private sector for-profit organizations that are looking to carry out research and kind of have a mutual relationship? Are you open to that? And that, therefore, financing, for example, the cloud costs?
Of course, if you can just contact the email that we put at the back of the slides, we will be happy to collaborate with you, sir.
All right. Please, if you put that in the chat box again, because we can't see the slide is gone. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you, Samson.
Yes,
welcome,
excellent. So public-private partnerships as a way to challenge this constraint that I think probably all of us are facing, which is we have server space but limited GPUs. Let's move to the next talk, PBR Life Sciences.
I don't know if the questions, I'm very sorry for bumping in.
Sorry.
I don't know if the questions could be put in the chat room. We can attend to it. I'm the PI for the program. I'm Professor Aribisala. Sorry for bumping in. Yes.
So the questions for the talks can be put into the chat.
Actually, there are 3 people with hands up, and I understand that, there is time constraint. So if the questions could be there, we can reach out to them,
Yeah, please put I understand. Put the questions into the chat. I understand.
Thank you very much, Samson.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for the support. Placer.
Yeah,
so
what's the name of the file
chat?
that I'm gonna?
Go ahead.
What document are we sharing now?
It's the PBR, the MP4.
Okay. PBR.
Samuel, that's you. You want us to do the video, right? Or do you want to talk?
That's right, the video.
Yes.
Okay, starting.
A very good afternoon to you all, and it's a pleasure to be presenting at the DSI Africa Networking Exchange. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how PBR Life Sciences is advancing healthcare through intelligent data. Today's session is going to be taken up by myself, Samuel Rodriguez, Senior Consultant and Head of Data Quality at PBR, along with my colleague, Dr. Teslim Kutei, the Head of Data Engineering, Analytics and AI. PBR Life Sciences combines advanced AI technology with deep emerging market expertise to deliver unprecedented healthcare intelligence that transforms decision-making, creating equal access to better healthcare. We are headquartered in the UK and operate in the sub-Saharan region, namely Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya, providing multi-country, multivariate solutions that cater to the unique healthcare challenges in emerging markets. We are a preferred partner to our clients because of our ability to transform complex data into clear, actionable insights and customize solutions to specific market challenges while maintaining the highest standards in data quality and security. So what's the problem that we're trying to solve? Traditionally, clinical trials have been known to be very patient-centric, requiring patient recruitment across countries and regions, administering treatment, and then following up for treatment evaluation. With the dawn of big data and information technology, organizations are now able to leverage real-world data sets and transform these using AI and train the models to be able to predict response to certain treatments as well as identify novel molecules. On the commercial side too, companies are now looking towards real-world data to best identify opportunities for their portfolio drugs through identifying treatment burden across regions, as well as running cost of care analysis that define key decisions around pricing. This value of big data is also seen at a governmental level, where governments are able to conduct health economics and outcome research studies to drive and transform policies such as reimbursement and market access. Now, the major challenge that remains in emerging markets is a lack of such fundamental real-world data, hence the inability to drive cutting-edge discovery, commercialization, and recruitment. So how is PBR solving this challenge? PBR uses a 3-step approach where, leveraging our partners, we aggregate vast amounts of data, combine this with technology to transform the unstructured data, and finally, leverage the diverse skill sets of our people in technology and healthcare domain expertise to create an impact across emerging markets, where we are able to help life science companies accelerate drug discovery and commercial success. As mentioned earlier, our data is multivariate, multi-country, and multi-point, and our data comes from various points across the supply chain, such as imports, wholesaler, retailer, as well as hospital and HMO data. Where do we stand today in data aggregations across Africa? Our retail pharmacy data comes from over 1,100 pharmacies in both Nigeria and Ghana, dating back from 2021 with sellout data from pharmacy point of sale. As a footprint, we have over 14,000 brands, 16,000 SKUs across 20 million transactions. At the hospital level, we have data from 10,000 plus hospitals in Nigeria and Ghana, dating back to Q1 2024 till date, which includes claims and clinical data that has been anonymized. This includes data from unique patients of over 500,000. Lastly, our imports data that is available in Nigeria dates from 2020 and includes drugs and imports data. All of our data platforms are updated on a quarterly basis and will be soon launching in Kenya as well. I'll now hand it over to my colleague, Dr. Tess, for the next section. Over to you, Dr. Tess.
Thank you very much, Samuel, and good afternoon once again to everyone. I'll be talking about our data transformation using AI, how we leverage AI for the different aspects of our data. Like last slide said, data aggregation is not enough. As we're all aware, getting real
Sorry, I'm having a technical problem. Let me try to resolve it.
Just take a deep breath.
Which one was it?
PBR. PBR. It's the MP4.
Yeah.
A very good afternoon to you all.
And maybe we can just skip ahead.
Complex data into clear, actionable insights and customize solutions to specific market challenges while maintaining the highest standards.
We could skip ahead of this as well. So
on the commercial side too, companies are now looking towards real-world data.
We passed this.
Identify uses a three-step approach where leveraging our partner with sellout data from pharmacy point of sale. As a footprint, we have over 14,000 brands, 16,000 SKUs across 20 million transactions. At the hospital level, we have data from 10,000 plus hospitals in Nigeria and Ghana, dating back to Q1 2024.
Just one more.
Thank you very much, Samuel, and good afternoon once again to everyone. I'll be talking about our data transformation using AI, how we leverage AI for the different aspects of our data. Like last slide said, data aggregation is not enough. As we're all aware, getting real-world data will always come in usually a messy data in the form of unstructured forms in different formats which need to be either cleaned, normalized, and standardized. This is where we leverage AI for some of our transformations. Taking, for example, the data we collect from retail pharmacies, they enter their drugs, their medications in different formats because we have over 500 pharmacies where we collect data from. In order to normalize this and standardize this, for example, paracetamol, as is written here on the left side, they've written in different formats. We had to extract and create a form of a reference data dictionary, which actually isolates and brings out all the unique products in terms of drugs and medications that are being sold in these pharmacies. And also we try to enrich this data as well by also breaking it down into a lower level where we show the brand name where we show the classification, the active constituent, and also mapping it with the WHO classification of drugs, which is the ATC level 1 to 5, breaking it down into the anatomical, therapeutic, and the chemical classification of the drugs. For example, paracetamol here, and also bringing out the presentation, whether it's in a capsule or a syrup, and also the company that makes them. And then now this is where we map this data in terms of our reference data dictionary and the raw data that comes in from the pharmacies to make it very robust for downstream processing, for downstream analysis, where we've combined the raw data after it's been cleaned, leveraging AI to be able to map over 20 million rows of drugs that comes in quarterly from our data sources to speed up the process, also to extract and combine this data. Next slide, please. Now, this is just a sample of our architecture. On the left side is one of our architecture built on AWS for the pharmacy retail drugs. And on the right side is our architecture, which is also built on Microsoft. Now, talking about the architecture built on Microsoft, we're using the end-to-end analytics platform of Microsoft, which is Fabric, which is also layered on the Copilot, again, which is what we know is the AI and the generative AI aspect that Microsoft has been pushing, and also building our research data lab, which my colleague would also talk about more. It has been built on this Microsoft Fabric as well in order to enrich the data, to clean the data, and transform the data. Next slide, please. And like we said, so on the left side, we have our retail pharmacy. These are the other parameters that we try to extract to enrich the data. And on the right side is our hospital data and other parameters that we try to extract and also add, including the diagnosis, the ICD-10, in order to be able to analyze the data more robustly. Thank you. And back to my colleague, Samuel, who will talk about our other platforms.
Thank you, Dr. Tess. So now, based on the data aggregated and transformed using AI, we have built our very own AI-powered data platforms. The first platform that I'll be speaking to you about is the Versus platform, our nationally representative retail database. This aggregates millions of rows of data from pharmacies that are cleaned using advanced data engineering and processed in cloud. Our Versus platform enables you to run analytics and draw insights across parameters such as company analytics, therapy area analytics, brand analytics, and channel analytics, where you can both evaluate the performance of your own brand while also benchmarking against competitors. The second platform is our InVisio platform, which is a hospital claims analytics platform that aggregates anonymized hospital claims data and clinical data from 10,000 plus hospitals. This provides advanced insights into disease prevalence, therapy area patterns, cost of care, and hospital service utilization. Now I'll talk about the third platform, a PBR Research Data Lab. So a major gap that we have identified in regions such as Africa is the lack of research-ready data for academics and researchers to be able to leverage to drive their own research globally. Keeping this in mind, we've developed the PBR Research Data Lab, which offers structured, anonymized data sets from PBR's unprecedented aggregated proprietary databases such as the retail database and the hospital database, and then is ready for research ecosystem designed for seamless collaboration and data-driven decision-making. Here, for example, you could, using our research data lab data sets, you can explore various diseases, various patient cohorts, and also build patient cohorts. For example, you can drill down and narrow down the people who are suffering from malaria over the age of 30 or over the age of 40. You could also build a query based on your requirements. And more importantly, understanding that there is a need to collaborate during research and development, this platform allows you to share your findings and your data sets within team members using the same platform, while also allowing you to export this data for further analysis with platforms such as R and Python. I'd like to note that we are currently building this platform, and if you are interested in joining the waitlist, please, you could reach out to me at the email provided at the end of this presentation or at the survey link that will be shared in the chat box during the Q&A. Now, just to pivot to the next segment. So what are our critical success factors? As I mentioned, we are currently in Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya, and over the course of the next few years, we are going to be expanding across other regions in Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia, as well as Latin America. Our customers come from various sectors such as pharma, consumer health, consulting, bank, fintechs, insurance, and research academia. And the way we are able to serve our clients is through our regional experience across Africa, Middle East, India, Europe, with experience and skills across AI, ML, developers, data analysts, and data engineers, who in combined have over 100 years of cumulative experience. I'd like to thank you all for your time. And for, as I mentioned, for any additional information or clarification, you can reach out to me at samuel.rodriguez@pbrinsight.com. Thank you very much.
Excellent. It's great to hear that. I had a quick question to open up the discussion, and then we'll hear from the group. Do you all offer services of cleaning other people's data? You have your own database, but I can imagine if somebody's really struggling with a massive data set and they don't have a lot of infrastructure, they would just like help cleaning their own data. Can you do that, Samuel?
Thanks, Samson. Thanks for the question. And probably I do have my colleague, Mr. Adeoye, as well on the call. Maybe I'll just defer to him to shed some light on this question.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Samuel, and thank you, Samson, for the question. Yeah, like we had mentioned, we're a big data and AI company. We're definitely open to collaborations to see how, we can support, the ecosystem, right? So definitely it's something that we can look at and consider as an organization. We just need to have, the conversations around that, because that's what we are great at. And, we can also see how best to support in a collaborative manner.
Yeah, it seems like not only are you good at the cleaning, but you're going to be very good, you are good very much at the data visualization and then the data sharing. These are key skills that many people probably lack. So anyway, so let's keep going. Any questions?
Yeah. I will also add here as well that we have a consulting arm as well. So any request that comes into cleaning or maybe building visualizations is what we definitely do and support.
Excellent. Okay, so there's a consortium arm as well. Let's get some questions other than me. We have a big group here, so any questions? Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Can I talk?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for those exciting presentation. I wanted to know, to be practical, how we can collaborate with them. Let us know the way we can get in touch with you and make, at the end of the day, our collaboration realistic, because I'm from Benin and we are in the big lack of these kind of tools, these kind of skills, and I really want to collaborate. Guys, provide me the way to get in touch with you and be productive in the future. Thank you.
Go ahead, Tess. Are you going to say something?
Yeah, sure. We'll put the email addresses and the contact in the chat box as well.
Excellent. Let's try to get one more question before we move to our next speaker really quickly. Going once, going twice. Okay. All right. So this is it for the recorded speakers. Do we have the eHealth Africa group here? Mr. Ravi, is he here?
Hi, Samson. Yes, that's me.
Excellent. Can you freestyle and do it live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to share my screen after I introduce myself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, for attending this session organized by DSI Africa. Super happy to be here. I was part of the inaugural meeting and speaker series. I work with eHealth Africa and a sister organization called EHA Clinics, both headquartered in Nigeria. And we work in both the public health space as well as the direct primary healthcare delivery. We will be presenting two of our data science AI applications that we've been using for the last year or so. Both are in the validation stage. First, I'm going to share my screen and talk about what we are doing with an AI-assisted microscope for diagnosing malaria. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Sorry. So, so what I'm sharing now is, so this is our project using large language models to assist our community health workers. So eHealth Africa, about 5 years ago, started another sister organization called EHA Clinics, and our mission is to deliver high-quality primary healthcare in Africa. We have clinics spread across Nigeria, and we provide healthcare in the communities through what are called the community health extension workers, or CHUs, in Nigeria. These are healthcare workers who have about 3 years of clinical training. So they're not physicians, but they treat most of the primary healthcare issues. And we are asking the question, if we equip these community health workers with a large language model tool, can we bring their healthcare quality closer to that of a physician? So we started the study last year. I will share with you our study design. Since our clinics are using fully electronic medical records, the community health worker will first see the patient and input their clinical note into an electronic medical record. This is, we call it a SOAP note for subjective, objective, and then the assessment and plan. This SOAP note is then sent to a large language model with a set of prompts that ask questions about the quality of the note, the appropriateness of the diagnosis that the community health worker gave, and the treatment plan. So based on the feedback that the large language model gives to the community health worker, they then have the option of changing the treatment plan or keeping the same plan. These two plans, so one without LLM assistance and one with LLM assistance, are then presented to a medical officer. So the patient sees the community health worker first, then the patient moves on to see the physician. The physician will evaluate the patient.
Ravi, sorry, are your slides transitioning? Because they're not this side.
Okay, so hold on a second. So what you're seeing here. Are you able to see?
We're seeing it's stuck on the first page.
That's all.
Okay. So I, unfortunately, on Zoom cannot see what you're seeing. Can you tell me if what you're seeing is the...
I'm seeing the first page. It's not in presentation mode.
And this is about the LLM, right?
Enhancing malaria diagnosis, AI-assisted microscopy.
Oh, you're seeing. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So let me go to...
Did you share the presentation with us? I could present it for you.
No, I did not. Here.
There is a button at the end next to the slider for presentation. Yeah, that one.
Okay, so you can see the next slide.
Yeah, now I can.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for helping me out. So switching back to our AI-assisted microscope, the problem that we're trying to solve is malaria misdiagnosis using microscopy. Those of you working in Africa will know that most of the diagnosis for malaria is happening either using a rapid diagnostic test or a traditional light microscope. There is a large amount of error that is happening both from a false positive side as well as false negative side, but really a lot of false positive with the light microscope. Malaria, again, a big cause of morbidity and mortality. Malaria, the gold standard is still considered to be a traditional light microscope, but you can see the positive predictive value and negative predictive value can be quite low. So to address this challenge, we are validating currently a AI-assisted microscope that can automatically scan the slide as well as tag the Plasmodium parasite within the red blood cell. The microscope was developed by a company called Cephala out of California. It is a spin-off from Stanford University. Some of you might know the researcher Manu Prakash. He's out of the Stanford AI lab. This is a microscope. What you see here is the stage of the microscope with a camera. It can automatically scan the slide as well as tag the parasite. It has the capacity to screen more than 500,000 cells per minute at 100x, and this is a lot faster than a traditional light microscope with GM sustain. Because it tags the DNA of the Plasmodium, it has very high specificity for detecting the parasite. We have applied for ethical clearance for the study. We are now collecting samples. The study site is in Kano in the northern part of Nigeria. We are hoping to collect about 500 samples over the next few months, and that would cover both the high as well as low malaria transmission season in Kano. And we are going to use the traditional manual microscopy as the gold standard with PCR results to compare and estimate the sensitivity and specificity as well as the feasibility of using this technology for automated malaria diagnosis in Nigeria. The outcome measures are diagnostic accuracy, so that would be sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value, and negative predictive value compared to the gold standard. And then time saving by using an automated system. I will now switch to quickly our other project that is using AI, and this is the one that I started talking about, which is the use of LLM to assist our community health workers. The question we are asking again is, if we use a large language model like ChatGPT, can we improve the quality of care that is delivered by community health extension workers in Nigeria? Generative AI, I'm sure all of you know the different LLMs, ChatGPT, Llama. They can do a lot of powerful things. In healthcare, there's this question of if they are reliable enough, and that's what we are testing in this study. So I talked about our study design. The community health worker will first see the patient. They enter the results into our electronic medical record that is then sent to the LLM. The LLM gives feedback to the community health worker. They can either change the treatment plan or keep the same plan. The patient will then go to see the medical officer who will compare both the treatment plan without LLM assistance and the treatment plan with the LLM assistance, and will give a score, and that is our outcome measure that we are using to evaluate whether the LLM made any meaningful difference in the treatment of the patients. So this study, we are in the final stages of data collection. Again, we did a pilot study last year. We are doing a follow-up study. We have data from about 1,000 patients now from both the community health worker as well as the MO. We will be doing the data analysis next month and preparing for publication. That is the full workflow. So let me stop there and open up for questions from the group.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. They were both actually really interesting. I saw a message flashing that said we have 5 minutes left, but the clock says we have 15 minutes left. I'm not sure which one it is. So Mr. Ravi, first of all, so glad to see one of Manu's microscopes. I'm currently talking to him, and he's a great guy and
Yeah.
very, very, very interesting. Any questions? I'll have a question. The LLMs, did you say how many languages you're doing them in?
So yes, I did not say which language we're doing. We are doing in English because in our community health worker program, we recruit community health workers who speak English because our electronic medical record is in English. And they're fairly comfortable using English, speaking, writing, typing. But our next step is to try Hausa, which is the regional language in the north. So the community health worker can speak in Hausa instead of having to type on a computer, and it will automatically translated and transcribed before being processed by the LLM.
Excellent. That was where I was getting. There are only 2 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. That's enough for 1 or 2 questions. This is a big group here. Okay, we've got one, Joel. But Joel, you're already a big man in this group. We've heard from you. Any other questions? Okay, Joel, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I was discussing with a friend only recently. Have you done anything around LLMs for genetic data?
No, we have not. We are interested. I think one of the previous speakers said we are actually, the attendees was asking from private sector collaboration. EHA Clinics is actually a private sector company. eHealth Africa, the sister organization, is a not-for-profit in public health, but we are open to collaborations in the genetic data. We have done sequencing using the Oxford Nanopore system in the field in a community health clinic. And we are interested in using some of the genomic data. So if you have some idea and would like to collaborate, we would be thrilled to have you work with us.
I would be so grateful because there is a project that we were thinking about on how to be able to develop vaccines that can be that based on deep learning. So if we can predict where the behavior of a particular protein in a genome, then we could probably do directed medication based on the information we can get through those models. But when we tried with the language models, the accuracy is not good because they do not understand the inherent mapping between genes.
I see. Yes, sure. I'm going to put my email address here in the chat for anyone who wants to reach out.
Okay, please put it in the chat.
Okay, while that's getting into the chat, we're going to wrap it up here. It's time to, all right, really quickly.
About enhancing malaria diagnostic, I would like the presenter to drop his address in the chat. I will collect that.
Yeah,
I just did that. Okay.
Just did. All right, I think that's it. Let's just bring it in safely here. Thank you all. This is a great session. We got a lot of great information. Hopefully everybody has the contact information. At least if you didn't get an email, you can do a screen grab of the name and then you can search around and find the person that you're looking for. We should be heading back to the main group any second now. Here we go. Take care.
So the breakout room should be closing by now. So all the delegates in the breakout rooms will all be joining us in the main room. But to those that have joined the main room, we will have our next icebreaker question before we move to the the next session. In the meantime, my colleague will be